Spirituality does two things for you. 1. You are forced to become more selfless. 2. You trust to providence. The opposite of a spiritual man is a materialist. If I was a materialist, I would be making lots of money doing endorsements, doing cricket commentary. I have no interest in that. A country that relies on aid, death is better than that. It stops you from achieving your potential, just as colonialism did. You don't kill your way to peace. I feel an independent accountability commission should audit all government services. At the moment we have a ruling class that has one law and the people the other. These so-called extremists in Pakistan should be brought into the mainstream. If you marginalize them, you radicalize them. I did not lose this election, or had a bad result compared with what we might have got because of Islam. So for us any gain we had an election. One vote that we got was a win. Pakistan needs to have decentralization and a good local government system. Cross-cultural marriage is difficult, especially when one person has to live in another country. But I thought there was a very good chance of it working because people grow together if they have a common passion. I am basically a private person. I am called an Islamic fundamentalist by Rushdie. My critics in Pakistan say I am a Zionist agent. I must be doing something right. I have fruit trees, cows for fresh milk, yogurt, my own wheat. I'm basically self-sufficient. In Pakistan, politics is hereditary. They do not understand Islam, and I think that is one area where perhaps I hope one day I will play a role in actually making people understand what we perceive Islam to be. But I don't need to use politics as a way of making money. The war on terror is the most insane and immoral war of all time. The Americans are doing what they did in Vietnam, bombing villages. But how can a civilized nation do this? How can you eliminate suspects, their wives, their children, their families, their neighbors? How can you justify this? If your house is burning, wouldn't you try and put out the fire? It's more important to try to do something for the crores of poor people of my country. What most people didn't realize in the Western countries is that here it's not a question of having supporters, it's a question of getting these votes to the polling stations. People wasn't the People's Party to come into power again, so they saw us a viable alternative, not us, because everyone knew we were not ready. One is actually the democracy here. People assume that this election means that there is democracy in Pakistan. There is no democracy. In fact, the experience at Oxford has really helped me later in life. If one area I felt it was a tough election was I couldn't see my young son, and I couldn't see my wife a lot, but apart from that for her, also it was an experience. Because I'm anti-war, I've been called pro-Taliban. When I came into politics, I always thought there was a possibility I would be killed. There can only be democracy when money is not allowed to be spent in politics. Personally, I don't think solving corruption is such a big problem. I want to have a president in the US who tries to win the hearts and minds of the Muslim world. The Wastoxified Pakistanis have been selling their souls and killing their own people for a few $1 million. In most of Pakistan, it is a feudal country. People are very scared and oppressed by authority. But when you move to these wilder areas, they are not so easily suppressed. What I perceive is above all justice, where everyone has the same law. Terrorism is you winning hearts and minds of people. Colonialism deprives you of your self-esteem, and to get it back you have to fight to redress the balance.